Ladies and gentlemen, Romance Writers of America is proud to welcome you to the 36th annual Rita and Golden Hearts Awards ceremony. Your hostess is a New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of nearly 50 books, an 8-time nominee and 1-time winner of the Rita Award. Please welcome Roxanne St. Clair.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, San Diego and RWA. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the 36th annual Rita and Golden Heart Awards ceremony. And a very special welcome to the viewers joining us via live stream. Adding the live stream component to our show really changed the game for our awards ceremony. First of all, we've increased our audience exponentially, which is exciting. Instead of just 2,000 or so fabulously dressed conference attendees right here in this ballroom, there are at least 75 husbands who are frantically, right this minute, trying to figure out how to get a live stream to work. Yeah. We love you guys. Find a teenager. And of course, there are hundreds of chapter mates, critique partners, moms, dads, sisters, dear friends, kids and grandkids joining in tonight. But best of all, our romance readers have tuned in tonight. And let's hear it for the fans. Woo! Absolutely. Without our readers, we would not be here tonight. Tonight, we are live in San Diego, California, and you can only imagine my excitement when I was invited to MC. San Diego? Well, surely that means, well, it can't be anything but there have to be Navy SEALs somewhere, right? I admit, I had a few fantasies. 2 of them would escort me out. One particularly handsome lieutenant whispers that he will protect me from any crazed fans. And of course, backstage, we'll do what every Navy SEAL and romance heroine does. We'll pretend to be engaged. Just for the night. And you know what that will lead to. Conflict. But the SEAL idea was nixed. That's okay. San Diego is famous for other things too. The zoo. So I proposed a regal entrance on the back of an elephant. But apparently hotel management frowned on the cleanup involved. So what else? Legoland, Navy SEALs, Balboa Park, a sandy beach, Navy SEALs. They didn't get the message. What else is San Diego most famous for? And then I found out the theme for tonight. Does the line, "Stay classy, San Diego," mean anything to you? That's right. We are in the home of that famously irreverent anchorman, Ron Burgundy. But sadly, we weren't able to get Ron Burgundy tonight, so I hope you don't mind. You have to settle for Rocky Pink. As a former aspiring newscaster myself, I was thrilled to learn we were borrowing from the news format for tonight's ceremony. So no Navy SEALs or elephants, but I love this choice. The news format is perfect for tonight because life in our romance world has never been better or more exciting. We are changing and growing every single day, and in fact, we'll report on some shocking statistics to that effect shortly. Tonight, we'll be reaching out to our team of crack reporters from around the globe for riveting features, crime reports, arts, sports, and the weather that matters most in the romance world. But the biggest news of all? Of course, the celebration of the best in our business as selected by the Rita and Golden Heart judges. The fact is, every time one of us finishes a manuscript and types those two beloved words, say it with me now, the end, yes, we've made news. There are millions and millions of people on this planet who think they can write a romance novel. Perhaps you've met a few hundred of them. But look around the room and you'll see the people who've actually done it. We're the warriors who slave over a keyboard day and night, battling with uncooperative characters and complicated plots. We're the friends who circle round the critique group, offering support and ideas and chocolate. We're the bereft who drink our way through rejections and the Luddites who attempt to upload our own books. And finally, when all is said and done, we, ladies and gentlemen, we are the bravest of the brave who check our Goodreads reviews every day. Tonight, we celebrate the best news of all. Romance is alive and well and thriving as never before. So husbands, if you've cracked that live stream code, don't touch that dial. And ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Let's get this legendary party started with the first Rita Award.
Our first presenter is a former military officer turned romance writer who lives with her quietly funny husband and two less quiet children in Seattle. Here to present the first Rita of the night for Best Romance Novella is last year's winner, Anna Richland.
Thank you. The Rita finalists for Romance Novella are All's Fair in Love and Scandal by Carolyn Linden, HarperCollins, Avon Impulse, Lissa Kirsch, editor, Blue Streak, a Blue Series novella by Jules Bernard, self-published, Shelley Bates, editor, Desert Heat by Merlene Lovelace, In Course of Action, Crossfire, Harlequin, Romantic Suspense, Patience Bloom, editor, Her Secret Prince by Madeline Ash, in Royal Holiday, Thule Publishing Group, Laurie Johnson and Kelly Hunter, editors, Let It Shine by Alyssa Cole, In the Brightest Day, a Juneteenth historical romance anthology, self-published, Erin Nichols, editor, Nice Girls Don't Ride by Ronnie Lauren, Penguin Random House, Berkeley, Intermix, Kate Seaver, editor, One Little Kiss by Robin Covington, self-published, Nicole Bailey, editor, The Resurrection of Sam Sloan by Erin Quinn, self-published, L.K. Coulter, editor, Toward the Sunrise by Elizabeth Camden, Baker Publishing Group, Bethany House, Rayla Schoenher, editor, and the Rita for Best Romance Novella goes to Nice Girls Don't Ride by Ronnie Lauren.
God. Okay, I have a speech and everything, and I don't even know if I could read it, but this is very overwhelming, and I'm gonna cry. I'd like to thank my husband, who is my own romance hero, and why I write these books. My family, who's always encouraged me. My mom, who reads my books, even the dirty ones. My editor, Kate Seaver. My agent, Sarah Megabo, I do know her name. And to all of you, this week, in every RWA I go to, it's like finding my tribe when I've looked for them all my life. So thank you.
On behalf of Berkeley Books, I just want to thank the RWA for recognizing Ronnie. She's such a talented author and such a pleasure to work with. Thank you.
Presenting the Golden Heart for Best Contemporary Romance is an author who says her first book boyfriend was a brave rat named Montague. Please welcome last year's winner, Kimberly Buckner.
The Golden Heart finalists for contemporary romance are An Education by Brooke Selesky, Facade by Susan Bickford, Off the Rails by Monique Headley, Shelter Me by Gabrielle Luthi, Smiling Underwater by Sydney Carroll, The Sniper's Second Shot by Tracy Brody, Sometimes You Need a Sexy Scot by Melanie Johnson, Soul Song by Rain Ellis, Surrender to the Movie Star by Melanie McCarthy, Volunteering Her Heart by Erin O'Brien, writing as Laurel Kerr, and Welcome Home Katie Gallagher by Shauna Kelly. And the Golden Heart for the Best Contemporary Romance goes to Shelter Me by Gabrielle Luthi.
Seriously. I want to thank the Golden Heart judges, and I want to thank every person who has judged my work, because whether you made me wince or if I didn't in the end take your feedback, you made me a better writer. And so I'm so thankful to everybody who who gives their time. I want to thank RWA. I live in Australia, and and I come here across the ocean because this is my tribe, and I'm just so thankful to you all. I'd like to thank the Mermaids, the 2016 finalists. You guys enrich my life. You're never allowed to leave my life. And I would also like to thank my friends who have, in the last year, made me commit, have held me up. So T. McNeil, Beth Rita, the lights in my writing life, Tracy Amy, Robin Enland. I know you're watching at home, and I told you I'd wave, so hi. And I just want to say, for anybody who is finding it difficult to write, please commit, please send out your stories, because right now, the world needs your stories. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next presenter is the #1 New York Times, #1 USA Today, and #1 international best-selling author of over 20 award-winning novels, translated into 41 languages. To present the Rita Award for Long Contemporary Romance, please welcome Sylvia Day.
The Rita finalists for the Contemporary Romance Long are Broke Down Cowboy by Maisie Yates, Harlequin HQN, Margot Lipschultz, editor. Fire Me Up by Kimberly Kincaid, Kensington Publishing Corp, Zebra, Alicia Condon, editor. Love Me Sweet by Tracy Brogan, Amazon Montlake, Kelly Martin, editor. Love Somebody Like You by Susan Fox. Kensington Publishing Corp, Zebra, Martin Brio, editor. Once Kissed by C.C. Robson. Penguin Random House Love Swept, Sue Grimshaw, editor. Ransom Canyon by Jody Thomas. Harlequin HQN, Susan Swinwood, editor. Redemption Bay by Rayanne Thane. Harlequin HQN, Gail Chasen, editor. Searching for Beautiful by Jennifer Probst. Simon & Schuster Gallery Books, Lauren McKenna, editor. Second Chance Summer by Jill Chalvis. Grand Central Publishing, Leah Holtenschmidt, editor. The Secret Sister by Brenda Novak. Harlequin Mira, Paula Eichelhoff, editor. And the Rita for Best Contemporary Romance Long goes to Broke Down Cowboy by Maisie Yates.
Speech because I'm not going to remember anything. I want to thank RWA for this incredible honor and to acknowledge all the brilliant, talented women in this category. It was such an honor to be nominated with you. So many people go into making a book, and I owe a lot of people my thanks. First of all, to my agent, Helen Breitweiser, for always believing in me, even when it was really, really hard to get someone to buy my book. To Margot Lipschultz, my fabulous editor. You're an amazing talent, and you help bring out the best in my work. I owe you a Trapumple. Everyone at Harlequin, the publicity and marketing teams, Diane, Craig, and Susan Horn here, my fantastic cover artist, Joanne Grant, and the whole UK office, my first editor there, Jenny Hutton, for being the very first person to believe in my writing, Kate Dresser for being part of the original acquisition of Copper Ridge and editing the first book, which set the tone for the whole series. I have to thank my husband, because without him, there would be no books. He has supported me from moment one when I said I wanted to write. When we had a baby on the way and 2 little boys with special needs, he did what needed to be done so that I could get in writing time while he was working more than full time and never complaining about how messy the house was. I love you, Haven. You're the reason I believe in a happy ever after, because with you I live it every day. My parents, my mom is here. My mom. For having such a deep belief in me that I could be and do anything I wanted to if I just worked hard enough. And to my friends who keep me sane, or as close to that as I get, The very best critique partner on the planet, Jackie Ashenden, for being one of the staunchest supporters I've had for the longest time and one of my dearest friends for 8 years. We've come a long way, baby. Megan Crane, I would rather go get coffee with you and laugh until I cry on the couch at Good Bean than write words any day. Nicole Helm, my partner in cowboy crime. If I could buy you a goat and a sweater, I would. That's how much I love you. And finally, I owe a massive thanks to my readers who have embraced Copper Ridge and who allow me to continue to write in this world. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
To read Macy is to love her, but to work with her is to love her even more. The wit and heart and humor that she brings to her characters and her unforgettable Copper Ridge world, she also brings to her relationship with me and with her entire publishing team. So on behalf of Harlequin, thank you very much for this honor.
This just in, breaking news. Recently, the Romance Writers of America partnered with the Department of Communications at Stanford University to conduct an organization-wide study. The goal was to understand the impact of new publishing formats and professional practices on writers' productivity and income. RWA believes this is the largest survey of professional writers in the digital era. At least, it is the largest survey not conducted by someone with the name Data Guy. More than 10,000 RWA members were invited to participate. In fact, one lucky survey taker is in this room with a free conference registration just for responding. Hey, raise your hand if it's you. Somebody's out there, or she's in the bar. Approximately 60% of RWA members did respond. The other 40% were on deadline or reading their reviews. The results were newsworthy, to say the least. 62% feel that this is a much better time to be a romance writer than 10 years ago, a fact we credit to new publishing options, advances in technology, and the invention of the treadmill desk. We use it. Romance writers are a smart bunch. 36% of the respondents have a master's degree or higher, compared with 12% of all US women. Of course, 0.35% of those degrees are in math. More than 1/3 of those who responded to this survey earn a living as a romance writer with no other source of income. Let's hear it for the death of the day job. It's cool. 60% of us expect to publish more titles next year than this year, and 65% expect their romance writing income and waistline to increase next year. About 1/3 spend more than 20 hours a week writing, and 2/3 spend 14 hours a week thinking about Navy SEALs. I'm one of them. The survey highlighted that the loneliness of a writer's job is a thing of the past for many of us. Over 50% of the respondents said they interact daily with other writers. 82% of romantic suspense writers believe they are on a Homeland Security watch list based on their search history. Another 98% of writers swore they did not wear the same yoga pants every day of the week. Clearly a significant margin for error on that response. 99% of respondents classify running out of wine as a critical business emergency. You guys, we drink. And finally, there was a direct correlation between income success and networking. So get to those chapter meetings, launch those writer retreats, and pat yourself on the back for making it to San Diego. Friends. And the survey says it's time for the next set of awards.
Here to present the Golden Heart for Young Adult Romance is a past Rita winner who says the forecast for the romance industry includes an abundance of wine and happily ever afters. Please welcome New York Times best-selling author Lorraine Heath.
The Golden Heart finalists for Young Adult Romance are The Accidental Boyfriend by Lori Freeland, The Beekeeper by Meg Castle, Between Never and Always by T.L. Sumner, The Expedition by Mary Sullivan, Field Guide to a Girl by Nicole Homan, The Other Cheek by McCall Hoyle, Senior Tag, The Underwear Games by Sherry Adkins, and the Golden Heart for Best Young Adult Romance goes to The Beekeeper by Meg Castle.
To say I was not expecting this is an understatement. I didn't even have my shoes on. Thank you. Thank you to RWA for basically my whole beginning of this career. I wouldn't be here without the people I've met through RWA, through my home chapter of Maine Romance Writers. I love you guys. From my husband, who never ever told me I shouldn't do this, even when nothing was going right, and one bad news after another. For my friends, for my critique partners, for everyone I've met on this amazing journey so far, for my agent Beth Miller, for everyone who is here, and the mermaids. You're all beautiful and brilliant, and I'm so glad you're all in my life, and I'm so honored. Thank you.
Our next presenter fell in love with books in the 5th grade when her teacher introduced her to Tom Sawyer. Here to present the young adult Rita, please welcome USA Today best-selling author and last year's winner, Juliana Stone.
Okay, the Rita finalists for Best Young Adult Romance are The Anatomical Shape of a Heart by Jen Bennett, Macmillan, Fewell and Friends, Anna Roberto, editor. Followed by Frost by Charlie N. Holmberg. Amazon, 47 North, Jason Kirk, editor. Ricky by Abigail Strom, self-published. Unspoken by Cece Hunter, St. Martin's Press, Griffin. Rose Hilliard, editor. And the Rita for Best Young Adult Romance goes to I know she's watching from home. It goes to Jen Bennett for The Anatomical Shape of a Heart.
am not Jen Bennett, and I'm actually kind of emotional. And she asked me to come up here and read this speech, and I'm not supposed to be emotional when I'm reading this speech. So, there's no way I'm winning this thing. However, if the lovely RWA members who voted on my book had one too many glasses of wine and ticked the wrong scores, I am not going to ask for a recount. It's mine now, suckers. In all seriousness, this book is a straight-up, unapologetic YA romance, and I am so proud of it. Thank you for this honor, RWA. I would also like to thank my Girl Squad, who helped to bring this book into the world. My editor, Anna Roberto at Fievel and Friends, for being so cool and kind and not cutting the sex scene. Rachel Mann, Becky Peacock, and Liz Binks at Simon & Schuster UK for their tireless enthusiasm. And my biggest shout out goes to my agent, Laura Bradford. Without her, I'm nothing. And that was really super weird to say out loud about myself. So thank you, and at home, Jen, I'm really excited about this.
Our next presenter says winning the Golden Heart last year was her golden opportunity in landing an agent and a publishing contract. Here to present the Golden Heart for Best Historical Romance, please welcome Sarah Portman.
The Golden Heart finalists for historical romance are Besotted with the Viscount by Susanna Malcolm, A Curious Correspondence by Amelia Ridley, The Earl and the Pussycat by Elizabeth King, The Impetuous Miss Milton by Renee Ann Miller, My Lord Mercenary by Tracy Amy, Saving Columbine Ranch by Karen Miller, Taming the Earl by Elizabeth King, An Unbridled Gentleman by Eileen Emerson, Undone by Elizabeth Rue, Wild Women and the Blues by Denny S. Bryce. And the Golden Heart for Best Historical Romance goes to The Earl and the Pussycat by Elizabeth King.
Also going to read. I would like to thank RWA and all the judges at both stages of the Golden Heart, and of course all my fellow finalists, the Mermaids of 2016. What a fantastic group of women. Also my own national organisation, Romance Writers of New Zealand. We're going well down under, for all the support it provides. I would have given up writing a long time ago if not for the support of my husband and children, who allow me the time I need to write and to attend wonderful conferences like this one. Most of all, however, I would like to thank my tribe, the Blenheim girls back home in New Zealand, Barb, Sue, Deborah, Nadine, Margie and Kate. You guys rock, and the bubbles will be flying when I get home. It helps to be married to a winemaker. And last, but definitely not least, my amazing, fantastic roommate and closest friend, Louisa George. I guess I could do this without you, but I absolutely don't want to. Thank you.
Our next presenter's most memorable reader interaction was a young woman who walked up to her at a signing and burst into tears because her books are just that good, or because she's just that intimidating. Here to present the Rita for historical romance Long, please welcome Elizabeth Hoyt.
The Rita finalists for historical romance Long are Bella and the Beast by Olivia Drake, St. Martin's Press, Jennifer Enderlin, editor. Earls Just Want to Have Fun by Shanna Galen. Source Books, Casablanca, Deb Worksman, editor. If the Viscount Falls by Sabrina Jeffries. Simon & Schuster, Pocketbooks, Mickey Newting, editor. Tiffany Girl by Deanne Gist. Simon & Schuster, Howard Books, Beth Adams, editor. Tremaine's True Love by Grace Burrows. Source Books, Casablanca, Deb's Workman, editor. And the Rita for Best Historical Romance, Long, goes to Tiffany Girl by Deanne Gitz.
I can't believe it. That wasn't practiced. I attended my first Rita ceremony in 1994, and I sat way at the back, and I was so inspired by the authors who won this award, and I thought, one day I want to walk up on that stage and win an award. And so I went home and I wrote down that goal because I knew that 90-something% of people who write down their goals achieve them. Well, 5 nominations and almost 20 years later, I am realizing my dream right this moment. What I have learned in that time, though, is this is not an individual endeavor. This is a team effort. And I would never be published, much less on this stage, if it were not for RWA. Truly, truly. And you are RWA. And so if you have given a workshop, if you have attended a workshop, if you've entered a contest, if you've judged a contest, if you are on the staff, God bless you. If you are on the board, God bless you. If you have brought donuts to the meeting, I mean, this is partly yours. And I don't take for granted what you have done. I truly appreciate it. And there are a few people who helped me with this particular project, some authors and industry professionals who mean the world to me and had their hands on this book, Tiffany Girl. And I would like to thank Meg Mosley, Gail Evers, Kristen Higgins, I can't believe it, Kelly Coates Gilbert, and my mom, and my husband, Greg. I love you so much. And all of you, God bless you, and thank you so much. Oh, my agent, Lacey Lynch, and my editor, Beth Adams. I love y'all too. Thank you.
has always taken up a large segment of any newscast, and the romance writing world is no different. We have CIA, FBI, NYPD, DEA, MI6, ATF, DOJ, and they are all HOT. Our top crime reporter, Leslie Kelly, is at the scene of a vicious murder and standing by live with her report. Leslie?
I'm reporting live from Skull Island, where police are investigating the brutal murder of Dr. Giles Mayberry. Police aren't telling us much. However, we do know that they are looking for the doctor's assistant, the beautiful and brilliant young Cassie Villanova, who was last seen in the company of a ruggedly handsome man wearing a black leather jacket. Let me see if I can get more information from the last person guarding the scene. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me anything about the crime? Judging by your attire, can I assume you're a bodyguard? Can you at least tell us what agency you're with? Perhaps Titan International or Eden Securities? Guardian Angelinos or Last Chance Rescue? Well, perhaps you're not a bodyguard. Are you an FBI agent? With FBI psychics, perhaps? Or tracers? What about black cats? Not FBI. Former military, Delta Force, Elite Force, Navy SEALs, bad boy Navy SEALs? Not Navy SEALs. Well, I'm sorry, we're obviously not getting a whole lot of information from the sources here on the site, but there are a few things I think we can infer about this crime, Roxanne. For instance, I assume that the killer was well motivated in his plan, because obviously in the best crime stories, the villain is the hero of his own story. And he must have thought a lot about what he was doing, going over and over his plan, using non-gender specific pronouns. Wait, I'm getting more, I'm getting more information from my producer, who tells me that the beautiful Miss Villanova and her companion were spotted at a downtown apartment building where they were kissing passionately.
They were making out while they were running for their lives?
Time for a love scene. Well, that's all I have for you now, Roxanne. I'm afraid this case might be one that can only be solved by Detective Eve Dallas. Wait, I know who you are. You're a bullet catcher. Reporting live from Skull Island, this is Leslie Kelly for WRWA's Crime Beat. Now back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. And just an aside, for those of you ogling that shirtless guy, that's my son. Hands off. Thank you, Dante. You please put your shirt back on right now. So now, let's get to our next award.
This Golden Heart winner for Best Erotic Romance writes strong-willed heroines and the complex heroes who strive to have them. Here to present the Golden Heart for Best Romantic Suspense is Michelle Aris.
The Golden Heart finalists for Romantic Suspense are Escape from the Harem by Diana Belchase, Four Tragedies by Layla Rain, In the Wrong Sights by Tracy Brody, Love in Hiding by Diane Holliday, Ruby Red by Melanie Novak, The Truth is in the Tango by Ariana James, and the Golden Heart for Best Romantic Suspense goes to In the Wrong Sights by Tracy Brody.
I love that lady. I did not, okay. Thank you. I've been blessed to be part of the 2016 Golden Heart Mermaid class and the 2015 Dragonfly class, and I love you ladies. Appreciate your friendship and encouragement, and I look forward to seeing each of you splash and soar to success. They represent the best of RWA in more ways than just their writing. Because while winning a Golden Heart is great, the real win, and one that all of you can share in, is being part of RWA. We all have our own story and our own goals of what success means. Writing isn't a race to be published or a competition to sell the most books or get the best reviews. There's room for all of us to succeed. We are stronger together, building each other up and promoting other authors, because there's no way one or even a small group of writers can meet readers' demands for books. There's a huge body of readers out there with diverse backgrounds and diverse tastes, but with a common desire to see a happily ever after. I want to thank RWA for giving a community to come together with other writers who don't think we're crazy for talking about our characters like they're real people. Thanks to everyone who works for RWA corporate and on the board, and all the published and unpublished authors that serve in their chapters, give workshops, and judge contests. I would not be standing here tonight without all the people that helped me learn that commas are my friends, and that POV can help my readers connect with the characters, and that even though I tend to be a peacemaker in real life, I need drama and conflict in my books. And now I channel that real life drama into books that earn a Golden Heart. I want to thank my awesome family, my husband Bob, and my kids Brandon and Kristen for their support and not complaining too much when I spend more time with my characters than them. My characters don't make me cook or fold laundry. My extended family and church community for all their support and the cheering, the smaller victories along the way. And lastly, I want to thank my agent, Helen Breitsweiser, for her enthusiastic belief in my abilities and my stories. Thank you all.
This 5-time Rita finalist and 2-time Rita winner says she started writing because she used to travel a lot and couldn't carry enough books in her suitcase. So she wrote her own. Here to present the Rita Award for Romantic Suspense, please welcome Karen Rose.
The Rita finalists for Romantic Suspense are Barefoot with a Bodyguard by Roxanne St. Clair, self-published, Christy Yanta, editor. Barefoot with a Stranger by Roxanne St. Clair, self-published, Christy Yanta, editor. Facing Fire by Helen K. Diamond. HarperCollins, Avon Books, Mei Chen, editor. Fatal Frenzy by Marie Force. Harlequin, Carina Press, Alyssa Davis, editor. Flash Fire by Dana Martin, self-published. In the Waning Light by Laura Than White, Amazon Montlake Romance. Charlotte Herscher and Jovan Sotak, editors. She Can Kill by Melinda Lee. Amazon Montlake Romance, Charlotte Herscher and Anne Schlup, editors. The Strongest Steel by Scarlett Cole. St. Martin's Press, Elizabeth Poteet, editor. Target Engaged by M.L. Buckman, Source Books. Casablanca, Deb Worksman, editor. And the Rita for Best Romantic Suspense goes to Flash Fire by Dana Martin.
much. I would like to thank my fabulous team, Diane Flint, Linda Ingmanson, Sarah Jordan, and Tony Lee, and my wonderful daughter who is here, who's been doing dishes, cooking, laundry, the house, whatever it takes to help me write since she was 12 years old. So I hope there's nobody from social services here. Thank you so much, RWA.